All right, welcome back. Today is day 2, sort of day 3 of my development on the GDevelop Game Jam number 5. And if you followed my last stream, I am making an endless side-scrolling runner. And I don't have a whole lot of time to work on this, but I just thought I would flip on the camera and get some work in this morning before my actual work. And so, yeah, let's just dive right into it. I'm not going to go into all the changes I've implemented, but here's the game so far. And so if you're performing in the Game Jam, you'll get a sneak peek at some of the mechanics I've already implemented, and maybe it'll give you some ideas as well. So nothing totally groundbreaking, but just to break it down, we do have speed increased by these lightning bolt icons. These worms give you extra permanent health slots, and the hearts give you extra health. And once the sun reaches the left side of the screen, the level ends, and a portal will spawn. So the underlying concept there is that the faster you go, the more ground you cover, and the more ground you cover, potentially the more score you'll have, which is the goal. So that being said, the score is one of the focuses for today. So I want to get score into the game. I've got health, I've got speed, and let's do score. So let's add a scene variable. Yeah, edit scene variables. Make sure my levels are all right here. And we need, this will actually be, we could have a couple of things, like a scene, a score for the scene. We're gonna have a few different things. I keep saying this out loud. But what we need is, I'll call it, I'll just call it score. I'll call it scene current score. Obviously a number. Apply. Then I need a couple of global variables actually. Need total score. This will be for the whole game. And then, so let's get those going first. And then after that, I want to implement like recording personal best as well as top score from like the leaderboards. But I'm not sure how I want to display those yet. So let's do total score and score. And I'm just going to copy one of these text objects that I already have. I'm going to duplicate that, and I'm just going to call it text current score. I'm going to drag that out here. And it currently doesn't say anything, so let me just put score. Apply. And at the beginning of the scene, what I want to do is change the text of that variable to score colon space followed by, or it's plus rather, followed by scene current score. So let's see if that works. It's too far off the scene. Move that over a little bit. That'll work for now. I'll fine-tune the placement later, but I think I need to set that to the UI layer as well, so it doesn't run away from us. And then I want to do the same exact thing with the update once the scene game state is playing, and do it unconditionally every act. And I'm pretty sure I need to round this. But we'll see. All right. Oh, by the way, in the last stream, I was struggling with getting some of the ground placement, and I think I ended that stream by saying that you encounter bugs that you know you can fix, but your brain just isn't braining at the moment. Yeah, that whole dilemma was caused by a single number. When I was trying to spawn the ground right here, instead of I said the number of platforms on the scene if they were less than 1, and I needed to say if it was less than 2. That was the whole reason I couldn't get my world to build. So that is why stepping away is sometimes the best solution when you're struggling. At least it is for me. What's the toughest game jam you've ever had to complete? Or a similar challenge if it wasn't a game jam? Yeah, let me know in the comments. I'd like to hear about it. Okay, so I'm double checking something right here because I have the score up here, and I changed something last night on the movement. So when I press the space button, and I want to make sure that this is updating correctly. Because the moment the game state is playing, the game should unconditionally simulate pressing right every act. Okay, let me fire that up with the debug GUI. Scene variables. So we have oh, well, here's the problem. I'm not updating the correct variable. Jeez. I wish I had an excuse to blame that on, but I don't have a good excuse. Let's update the variable. We're not even updating a variable here. Delete that out, and let's get with the program. We need to update the text of current score and set that to score plus scene current score. Boom. Yeah, so let's see what that does for us now. Boom. Yeah, I was, instead of updating the scene, instead of updating the game state from preparing to playing, I was updating it to whatever the score value was, which has nothing to do with my conditions down here. So, all right, let's see. Now that it's working, when I hit space, boom, the speed variable updates. The score is in theory updating, but there's nothing actually changing the score. So let's add some stuff in here to change the score. And I want to go out and fetch some sprites that will be more like things a chicken would eat. At the moment, I'm just going to throw something in here that makes visual sense. I'm trying not to do too many placeholders because in a game jam, there's not a lot of time to go back and polish. I'm trying to polish on the fly. But let me just pull something from this bunch of sprites I've got here. I mean, coins make sense. Let me just throw some coins in for now. I could even add a couple different coins. Maybe even like the diamond would be like a high value one. Something like that. Okay, apply. Let me double check the collision mask on these. That's fine. And I'm actually going to edit the points. Usually by default, the origin point is on the top left, but in this case, I'm really concerned with how low it is to the ground. So I'm going to put the origin as actually where, pretty close to the bottom center. And we're going to go with that. So apply. And we'll rename this to I guess I'll just call it coin. And then these are going to be too big, so we'll need to scale them whenever we enter them into the world. I'm going to go into my events here, and here I have my various types of loot spawning. So I've got my worms, my hearts, my lightning bolts. Let me add something down below this. And we're just going to update this to coin. And these are just some collision checks I did manually to make sure it's not stuck in the ground. And then we need to spawn it. So this is if it's based on the movement, the distance covered by the chicken. I'm going to create a timer called coin spawn. And if the chicken has moved at least about a scene's worth, and a delay timer has reached the target number of seconds, then it's able to spawn this item. In this case, I still need to fine-tune where I want it to go. And in fact, I probably want to change how frequently they spawn. Probably like pretty frequent, because these are just coins. So let me, whoa, did I drop that down? Drag that back. Where'd it go? I'm losing my mind. Okay, here it is. So for the coin, this is going to have a different frequency than most of these other items. It does not need to wait a minimum of like a whole scene's width. We want these to spawn relatively frequently. So I'll just say like every... Let's just start at every... I'll say 0.75 to 2 seconds. We'll see if we can get a lot of them going. And since we'll have so many of these, I might need to do something special for the collision check, but we'll get to that. change the number of the animation. We're not trying to change the animation of Speedbolt. We can go ahead and randomize the randomization. That didn't make sense. We can go ahead and randomize the animation for coin just to play around with looking at the different values. And this will spawn at the chicken's current X location plus a scene's width approximately. And it would be just off to the right side of the screen. We're changing the scale to about a quarter, pun intended, of the coin's width or current scale. And on the Y value, the Y axis is going to be between the chicken's current Y, and that's going to move upward between 20 and 250. And we'll see. Let's just test this out. Okay, didn't get anything there, so let's double check some things here. We never actually started the timer. That would help. So let's start or reset the timer for the coin spawn every time that it spawns. And then also up here where we move from the preparing state to the playing state. Now let's test this out. All right, there's a coin, there's some diamonds. So we're getting a pretty steady stream of these things, which is what I want to do, because usually in an endless runner, you just have a copious amount of loot that you're gathering up. And so let's add some collision. So far, so good. Oop, and my light just fell. Stay. All right. Let's add some collision for that. And this is where I'm thinking I will use a for each object. And this would be for each coin. For each instance of coin, then if the coin is in collision with the chicken, then we do the activities. So we'll delete the coin. And then we would add score. So let's do some sub events because we want to add score depending on which type of loot was collected. So let's add a if the coin animation by number, because I didn't give them a name, is equal to 0, then we want to update the score. So this will be a scene variable. Scene current score, and we will add an arbitrary amount of points. So let's say for testing purposes, let's do 10 for the golden one. Now let's copy this twice, and so if the animation is 1, which I think was the silver coin or platinum or whatever, let's call that 50. And then if it's the diamond, we'll call that 100. Probably changing those. Probably, definitely. Oh, Hopefully I have those in sequence correctly. Let's check. Okay, deleted, added 50, added 50, added 50, added 10, added 100. So far, so good. I'm sure we'll catch some bugs here, but all right, well, there's the basic score functionality. Now, I think what I want to do is I want to add a menu. This isn't... There we go, boom. So when you hit that portal, I want to actually add a menu showing the scenes score. I also want to store... I want to store and add the current scene score to the total game score, right? Because I have a portal, so it's not truly endless per level. Although it could make it that way. It's not truly endless per level. It's more like endless number of levels eventually. And so your score is definitely going to carry over. And when you die, because it's permadeath. Once you die, you die and the game ends. The run ends. So as I think through this on the fly here, I want to go ahead and add a quick menu. So let me just dive right into that. Let me add, trying to think here. I have some assets available. Let me see what would be tileable. So I know I have some of these panels which would be tileable, but yeah, trying to decide real quick which ones I want to actually use. Let me check the original file size of that one. Not the file size, the size. That is... .332 by 345. Okay, go back into this, let's update that, 342 by 345. Is that correct? What did I just say? 332. Okay, so that would pop up on the screen, and I think since that's tileable, that's not exactly how I want to do this. Because if I stretch it, it's going to distort. And so I'm looking here for one of these sprites to piece in here for, say, a panel sprite. I think tile was the wrong option. I want a panel that can be sort of extended without changing the edges. And I'm just looking here through the artist's original work. That is the panel light wood large square. Large square. Okay, and that is 1456 by 1469. More than big enough. But I'll be honest, I need to play around with this a little bit more to make that work exactly. So let me just remove these. I'll put in a static sprite. I just duplicated it. And I need to get a move on here. So delete those out. And I'm going to make those work because I like them. But let's throw a static sprite in there for now. And we can still go with the large square. That's fine. Apply. And we'll call this, I guess, scoreboard. And this would be on the layer UI whenever it does spawn. Let's just see what it looks like in the game. It looks a little bit different than the preview sometimes. Yeah, that's fine. So let's do, what kind of scale factor would we need here? I think that the dimension is fine, just sort of a square, but probably at least half, maybe a quarter. So when the chicken hits that portal, add, make sure we can see here. So change to scene. What we have is, when we currently hit the portal, we're changing it straight to the main menu. That was just a placeholder. What we really need to do is get rid of that and change the scene state. So I keep saying scene state. It would be the game state. And we'll change the game state to, I guess, complete. And then add an event below that, not a sub event, and say if the game state, is complete, then we would do some other things like we can delete the chicken, we can stop the sun from moving because we have the power to do that. And if the chicken is deleted, you're not going to take any more damage and die. Let me check a text. Okay. Then we want to spawn the background, the scoreboard, create, and this can be, let me see, the origin point would be at the top left at 0, 0 for the object itself. So kind of depends on the scale that we're gonna end up going with for the sprite, and I don't know what that would be. So let me try. Wow. All right. I need to move the portal up. So let's say let's just cheat. Alright, that's what it looks like, and that is ginormous. But that's a bit of a problem. We also didn't have the portal, so let's create the portal as well. So what I'm doing is, instead of actually playing through the whole game to get to the end and make that portal spawn to test it, which takes forever, I'm just going to say spawn that portal and the scoreboard the moment you hit the space bar. Hopefully this works. Here we go. Spacebar. And the portal spawned way down there. In this case, let's spawn it not so far away. Alright, so now let's play with the scale of the scoreboard. So if the scoreboard is it's about 1450 as a square, so let's see here. So about 362 would be a quarter of that size. Not that I need that number exactly. Let's just scale it to a quarter. So grab scoreboard, scale, and we'll set the scale to 0.25. Okay, test. That seems reasonable. Now, of course, what we would do is add some stats on there. So we would create we would create the score, the current score on there. Could even move the score there. If we go to text current score, instead of changing the value of it, we'll just change the position to the scoreboard. We'll say scoreboard X. Why does it not like that? Scoreboard X plus, say, 20. And then something like that for the Y. Okay, it looks like it moved, but it's probably behind. So let's do this scoreboard Z order. I don't know what to set it to. Let's say 50. And then let's change the Z order of the text to, I think, 49, so it should come right before it. I'm still not seeing it, so let me try the debugger and see where it's actually spawning. Open that up, refresh. Scoreboard is down here at the bottom. It has not been, there are no instances. I hit space, refresh. Well, there's a problem. Look how many scoreboards. It's constantly spawning them. That would be really bad for performance. Okay, so all right, let me create a scene variable as a Boolean, because that was terrible. We'll say completion events done. By default, it'll be false. And then we'll say if the scene variable, the Boolean variable completion events done is false, then do these things. And then at the end of those, we'll change that variable to true. That should prevent it from overlapping and all that nonsense. So let me actually delete this and cut that. All right, so if the game state is complete and the Boolean variable that I just created is false, delete the chicken, stop the sun, create the scoreboard, scale the scoreboard, move the current score text to the scoreboard, and then set the Boolean variable to true so that this does not all happen again. Let's test that out. I've got my debugger open just in case. Refresh. So we have just one scoreboard. And we know where that is. That is at X position 201, Y 360. So let's find out where it moved my text current score. So that is at X position 221, 380. Which appears to be behind the scoreboard again. So now let's try the Z order. Paste. See, am I getting these backwards? I do that sometimes. Okay, yeah, I just had it backwards. Now we're getting the score on the board. It's literally a board, by the way. And let's find out. I really want to test this like in the actual game, but let's also do I want to also store the player's best score on there, but I think I want to do that at another time. So what I could do is add some buttons on there for the probably 3 buttons, play again, play next level, and return to main menu. Which means I might actually need to make the board a little bit bigger. So instead of scaling the whole thing, maybe do how big would 0.4 be? It'd be better, and then I would need to actually just center it on the screen instead of doing what I'm doing with the position. So let me open up that event. So for the X position, we'll say scene window width. It should be 1280. There's got to be a way to center this. I'm just not familiar if there's a function for that yet. But if we do 1280 minus, say, $1180, that would theoretically put it over on the left side of the screen. And we'll say scene window height, which should be 720. We'll say minus 620, so that should in theory be at X 100, 100, which I guess I could have just done anyway. Yeah, I mean, that's not too terrible. Not too terrible. And you'd still be able to see the portal if you like looking at it for any reason. So I can move that around as needed. Let's go ahead and add some buttons on there. Which buttons do we have? We have main, restart. So we've got 2 of them. Let's go ahead and add those 2 on there. Button main, create object at position scoreboard dot x. See, what did I say for that other one? Minus 20, and then scoreboard dot y. In this case, we would say plus. Let's say 100 on the UI layer. And I see it spawned back here, but we'll need to bring it forward. Wait, I didn't change the Z order for it. Okay, and then oh, why did I say minus 20? It should be plus 20 on the x-axis. Okay. And then let's do the exact same thing for the play again. What did I call it? Or restart. All right, and then the restart button. We would want that to be further down, so I'll say minus, plus, I'm not exactly sure, 200. Yeah, just to get these on there. And they work. Just a handful of minutes left, about 5 minutes left. So I need to prioritize. Let me just make these things less ugly. Let me try just centering the buttons. What does that give us? Okay, so I have them creating here at the center, so they look like they're offset to the right, but that's actually fine. So what we want to do then is go, if I go to, yeah, well, I guess I cannot modify the points on the buttons, but I can modify points on the scoreboard. I could also just calculate it out a little bit. So we would want minus Set it to the middle. Set the button to spawn in the middle of the scoreboard. And by the button, we mean the upper left corner of the button. In the middle of the scoreboard, and then move it to the left, ergo minus an X value of button main dot width divided by 2. And let's see if the main button now spawns. That didn't do jack squat. Why did it not do much? It's acting like it doesn't have an actual width. Let's just say... Well, let's find out what the width actually is. If I open up the main, look at the sprite for it, the default width should be 250. So let's just subtract 125. We'll do this manually. There. Happy now? And let's move those downward. Say plus 300 and plus 500. All right, 5 minutes is up. 500 looks like too much. Let's make that 400. And I want to change something about the score. It does not stand out very well. Maybe we can enable an effect on it. Here, effect, 2D effect. Could do a glow. Apply. And then, well, let's just see what it looks like in the world. Might be a little strong. What if we do a black glow? Not too sure about that either. I'll have to play with it a little bit, but we could definitely do some kind of effect to make it stand out more. Maybe a drop shadow. I guess it technically has one, doesn't it? So, could do an outline. And it's not pretty, but it's maybe more legible. Can probably get rid of the glow, the drop shadow thing. Then yeah, I'll get rid of the effect for now, and I need to figure out something that's going to work across the board, pun intended, and not clash with anything else. So I hit. All right, let's test this out by having the scoreboard spawn actually at the end of the game. So I'll remove some of my tests. Maybe create I'll add a sub event that's disabled. And I'll cut and paste all this other junk into that. So if I need to come back here for testing, I can. Toggle disabled. Now, all of these things should still happen when you actually reach the portal. Let's give it a shot. I messed something up here. Same issue we had at the start of the stream. So the value is assigned lane. Alright. Let's test this out. Oh, something got messed up. There we go. Alright. Hopefully I make it to the portal. Obviously still need to add sounds in here too. But that, oh gosh. But again, that's not something I want to try to do on the fly because I would like them all to sound a little bit, not like the same, obviously, but the same general tone, I guess. And I don't know which all objects I'm going to have. Yeah, if I cannot beat this level, then is there something wrong with the level? I know that for endless runners and a lot of platformer games in general, movement feel is huge. So I'm really trying to be cognizant of not messing that up. Boom! Scoreboard! I can also move other things like your current speed. So, alright, that's a little bit of progress. So if you join me for this relatively short stream today, then I appreciate you watching. And more to come on this because I don't have a lot of time left. I keep whacking my mic too, sorry about that. I don't have a lot of time left before this jam is due, but we'll see how far I get. And appreciate you watching and enjoy sharing the process with you. So if you would like to see more content of this type, let me know by liking and subscribing. These are side projects for me, but I enjoy doing them if you enjoy watching them. So again, thanks for your time, and until